Folks, I've been waiting for somebody from Congress to actually have the guts to come forward and actually start talking about this. And I think in the Oversight Committee hearing yesterday, you saw some people break from the pack, break from the herd, and start really being rough and questioning figures of authority as far as what really took place here.
It is unfathomable that a 20-year-old on the radar of Secret Service and local law enforcement before President Trump went on stage was able to climb onto the roof of a building with a rifle and fire off multiple rounds before he was neutralized. Was Mr. Crooks acting alone?
Again, I would have to refer you to the FBI's investigation.
Have you noticed that politicians have not really spoken out much prior to yesterday's hearing, right? Well, you're starting to see it now. And the reason why is because, as I state all the time, members of Congress and in Senate and politicians in general, the only thing they fear, they don't fear you, they don't respect you. The only thing they fear is not being reelected. And because the American people, wholeheartedly, both sides of the aisle, I might add, are speaking out and asking, hey, just because you're a figure of authority, I'm talking about people in general in politics and in Congress, Department of Homeland Security, DOJ, FBI, Secret Service, just because you're a figure of authority doesn't mean that I'm okay with you lying to me. I still expect you to answer some questions. And just because you are a figure of authority doesn't mean that I should automatically just consume whatever you're telling me and run with it and go, ah, well, they told me it was okay. People are asking questions, and finally members of Congress are pushing back and asking those same tough questions. Eli Crane has been one of the ones that has, again, stepped out away from the rest of the pack. He went to Butler. He walked on the slopey slope roof, and he proved, number one, with a 70-year-old man behind him, that the slopey slope roof isn't too slopey to get on and defend a president of the United States, especially when you have somebody on a slopier roof a little ways over there that supposedly are firing counter sniper shots. So this video is interesting that he actually showed that. And it does one thing. It confirms our theory of a few days ago that the shot was not fired from where they talked about Crooks being, that it was fired from an open window. Now, I want you to notice one thing about this video. This window that's open is an air-conditioned building. So in 85-degree temperatures outside in Pennsylvania in the middle of July, that window would not normally have been open. But we showed with the Sky News footage that it was in fact open. So again, an air-conditioned building should not have the window open in 85-degree temperature, unless they were trying to cool off the outside. They had perfect eye shot of anybody on that roof, including the alleged killer. So take a look at this video.
Alright guys, I'm up here on the building where the supposed sniper took a shot. It's not that steep at all. Just had a 70-year-old man back here climb up on the roof easily. See that water tower behind me? Had Secret Service or anybody had sniper teams up there, this guy wouldn't have made it 5 feet up this roof. He would have been taken out. Behind me, you see the windows that Secret Service was supposedly in the second floor of this building behind. Makes you wonder why they weren't able to quickly dispatch the individual. And then behind me, back over here where those red roofs are, that's where the stage was set up. That's where the president was giving his speech from. A lot of questions here in Butler, but we look forward to doing oversight and getting to the bottom of it and making sure it never happens again.
Now that's impressive to me that he is stepping away and saying some of these things, but that's not the most impressive thing that he has done in the last couple of days. There was a hearing today, and I want you to understand the context of what this man is asking, and I want you to understand the weight of what he's asking right here, if there's any truth to what he's asking this lieutenant of the Pennsylvania State Police. I'm going to set this up for you real quick so you understand what we're talking about when he comes to it. He is asking him about a visit and a search of Crooks's home after the shooting. Now, he misspeaks at the beginning of it, and he says before the shooting. That's not, I don't think, what he meant. I think what he meant was the visit after the shooting. I think most of us might think that Crooks was visited before the shooting, but there's no official visit, obviously, before the shooting, nothing on record. So he's asking him about what they encountered when they went to Crooks's home after the shooting. Listen to this.
Colonel, did your team make entry and conduct investigation at the suspect's home prior to this shooting?
Excuse me, sir. I asked that question.
Did your team make entry and conduct any investigation at the suspect's home?
I believe we had people that participated in that securing of it. There were bomb assets that we provided.
Mr. Chairman, can I have 30 more seconds?
Yeah, I'm letting everybody kind of.
Okay.
On the night of. Since then, none.
Did you get any reports from any of your agents of anything fishy at the home?
I was briefed on.
Was there any silverware found in the home or trash?
I have nothing in the briefing that I was given, sir.
Was it extremely clean, almost like a medical lab? Were you given any of those reports?
I was not giving any of those details, sir.
Okay, that's what I'm hearing.
Folks, that should send a shiver up your spine. You have a U.S. congressperson who has been told that the home of somebody who is supposed to be a lone shooter, acting alone, outsmarted people with gazillions of dollars worth of funding, he is asking why, because somebody has reported to him, the congressman, that this home, when it was searched, appeared to have no trash, no clutter, and was so spotlessly clean that it even appeared to be sanitized. Unless these people were crazy clean freaks, no one would ever go into a home and make a comment that it seemed sanitized and way cleaner than what a normal home looks like. This does not make sense to me. It makes sense to me, but it doesn't make sense to me if there's no smoke here. This is something that needs to be looked into. Eli Crane has been told something, and I want to know what that something is. I've actually reached out to his office, got no reply yet, and maybe he can't speak to me because it's likely a confidential source who has spoken to him. I want to know why he asked that question, and I think he's going to let us know at some point. But big kudos to Eli Crane for what he's doing right now. This guy is asking questions that nobody wants to hear. He's asking questions that we're all asking, and everybody is just dismissing us like we're just a bunch of plebes. We're a bunch of peasants asking the hierarchy questions that we have no business asking. We just need to shut up and accept whatever they're spoon feeding us. One last thing I am working on right now, and this is this pleases me beyond pleasure. I'm working on right now a trip to Butler, Pennsylvania as soon as I can get out there. I've got some cool things that I want to announce, but I made a phone call today to a congressman's office, and I am very hopeful that that congressperson will take that trip with me. And we will go up there and we will measure things. We won't look at Google Earth. We will bring a rangefinder, which apparently is okay to be on the grounds up there, right? We'll bring our own range finding system and we will take measurements from the tower to where Trump was, from where Trump was to the building. We will take measurements of the entire facility and we will put something out that has factual data and not a bunch of supposition, and somebody else is going to have to look at that as a professionally conducted search of the entire facility, and they can use our numbers, but we will need some answers from them after that.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.